I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with some skincare repurchases. I wanted to make sure that I had these products on backup. This first one is my beloved Belif True Cream Moisturizing Balm, not to be confused with the Aqua Balm. This is just my favorite moisturizer. I use it every night. I put on like 2 really thick layers of it. It's just something that I have gone through so many jars of. So I went ahead and I picked up another one of the big guys, which are 3.38 fluid ounces, one of these larger tubs, because I didn't want to run out of this. I never want to run out of this. I also got backups of the Josie Maran Argan Daily Moisturizer SPF 47. I got one of the Protect and Perfect and one of the original that's not tinted. So a tinted one and a non-tinted one. I typically like to buy the great big 4-ounce bottles, and I would get them off the Josie Maran website, but they weren't on there this time. So I just got these 2-ounce ones off of Sephora. I don't know why they stopped making the 4-ounce bottles. I'd prefer those because I go through these relatively quickly. But this is my daily moisturizer sunscreen. It's very, very hydrating for my dry skin, and I'm very generous with it. I use a lot of it, and I use it every single day. The tinted one is just a little bit too deep, and then I mix it with the original, which is just a white, and it kind of turns into this pretty beige color. So I like to mix them. So I did not want to run out of these guys either. It's just a staple product for me and kind of has been for years. So those are the Josie Maran Argan Daily Moisturizer SPF 47, and I got these off Sephora. I also got the big jar of the Belif off of Sephora as well, and I recently started linking the products that I talk about in the video, and also they're on my face in the description box, which is something you guys have been asking me to do for a really long time, and it takes me a lot of time, and sometimes I don't have a lot of time, but I'm making time. But I got this Lumiere Rich Extra Moisturizing Illuminating Eye Cream from NeoCutis. It is this guy right here. This is an expensive eye product, but if I ever got around to filming my empties video, you will have seen that I've gone through one of these already. And what I had done was I had went through one of these bottles, loved it, absolutely enjoyed this product. And then I didn't repurchase it because I had so many eye creams that I was using. I was going to try to use some of those up. And my under eyes have just been giving me heck lately. Like, they're just so dry. And so I just said, heck it, I'm gonna get another one of the NeoCutis, which is what I did. And I have one in my bathroom that I've been using, and then I got a backup of it. And I like to find this on sale, usually Derm Store, Skin Store, or Lovely Skin. They have sales quite frequently on NeoCutis, and NeoCutis is a pretty expensive brand, so I like to catch it when it's on sale. But it comes in super nice packaging. I had to go get the one out of the bathroom, but it's like a soft matte, and then it does have a pump applicator that's kind of one of those airtight pumps, so no air gets in there. But this eye cream is so nice. I do like to use little serums and stuff like that underneath, but this is the main product that I like to use around my eyes. It's just very hydrating, and it just makes my under eyes feel and look so nice. So I just absolutely adore this guy. Again, that's the Lumiere Rich Extra Moisturizing Illuminating Eye Cream. They have a couple different eye creams. This is the rich one, the extra moisturizing one from NeoCutis. This last skincare product isn't a repurchase. It's actually a new product from Josie Maran. It's the Skin Dope CBD Recovery Moisturizer. This like just came out. It's got argan oil plus 100 milligrams of CBD non-psychoactive is what it says on there. Restores and replenishes for balanced, healthy looking skin. So this is the product right here. And I got this off of the Sephora website as well. And it comes in this kind of jar packaging. And this is a really thick, kind of buttery moisturizer. It has a slight type of, I don't know, I'd call it maybe like a herbally scent, but it's not very potent at all. And I did use this last night because I did just get it yesterday, and it feels really nice on the skin. It also has like a bit of an oil slip to it. I actually put on a blob of this on my skin, and I had the CBD oil from Josie Maran, which I also really like. That comes in a huge bottle. It's like 1.7 ounces. And it's been lasting me a really long time. I'm finally getting down to the bottom of the tube, but I probably will repurchase that again when that runs out, and that's also from Josie Maran. But I use that, and then I put this on top of it, and then I layered on my Belif, which is something I always do. Tonight, I might just use this by itself and see how it goes, because I'm interested to see if it's gonna kind of hold up like the Belif does. But having used this last night, I did feel like I woke up and my face just looked really plump and hydrated. So I'm really hopeful for this product. If it becomes something that I repurchase, you guys will definitely know about it. But that's the new Josie Maran Skin Dope CBD Recovery Moisturizer. Argan oil and 100 milligrams of CBD. I'm really excited about this product. I have one more skincare product. I thought that was the last one, but I did repurchase the Kiehl's Creamy Eye Treatment with Avocado. This is an eye product that's been... It's been some years that I've tried it, but I remember it being very moisturizing, and when I had been using it, it was something that I was repurchasing. But I wanted to repurchase it again because I was having really dry eyes. I did break down and buy the Neo Cutest, but I'm going to try this guy again as well because I remember really loving it. And they had this little duo that was like $2 or $3 more than the half-ounce eye cream, so I got the duo, which has an ounce of the Avocado Nourishing Hydrating Mask, and I got this off of Sephora as well. So it's this little duo, and then the eye cream, they both come in jars, but this is the eye cream right here. This has been around for a really long time. I just remember it being really, really hydrating, so I'm going to give it a go again because I used to really love it. And that's from Kiehl's. And then because I have all the rest of the Dior Backstage eye palettes, I felt the need to have this one as well. It's 004 Rosewood Neutrals. So it's one of the new ones, and I got this off of the Sephora website. It's one of these guys right here that comes with that creamy eye primer in there. I just love tones like this. It kind of reminds me, some of the shades in here remind me of Tom Ford's Body Heat, and when I use this, that's the same type of vibe that I got when I used this palette, which is a really warm, summery, hot day outside type of eyeshadow look. That's like the best way I could describe it. It reminds me of a real hot summer night, which I think is the name of that NARS palette that I really love with similar tones too. I think it's called Summer Nights, but that's what it reminds me of. The shadows in here are very like standard shadows. The mattes and the shimmers are very like standard finishes. Nothing revolutionary in terms of the shades there, but the shadows did perform really well. And I've used these eye primers in the past. They're almost like a concealer consistency. They're very creamy, so if you have like really oily lids, you probably won't like the primer. I can get away with using it, but I like to use the eye primer that I have with SPF in it. I won't swatch the primer, but I'll swatch the rest of these guys. And I didn't have any problems when I used it. So those are the first four. And then these next four. I wish they'd not put the eye primer in there, and I wish there was another eyeshadow. Because we all have our own primers, right? I suppose if, you know, for traveling and stuff, it might come in handy like that, though. But there are the swatches. Pretty nice. It does give me that Tom Ford Body Heat vibe, a little bit more burgundy, kind of more leaning towards the NARS palette maybe, that Summer Heat, Summer Nights or whatever. But that is the Dior Backstage Eye Palette in 004 Rosewood Neutrals. I thought it might be helpful to show it next to Amber Neutrals, which is over to my right, and then Cool Neutrals, which is in the middle, and then here is Rosewood Neutrals right here. I'm trying to hold them all up without dropping them, just in case you were curious in terms of the tones. Also from Sephora, I got this Too Faced Peach Perfect Matte Instant Coverage Concealer. I went back and forth, and I went back and forth, and then I finally went with the shade Merengue, which I believe is the lightest shade with pink undertones. It says on the box it hides redness, dark spots, blemishes, acne, and dark circles. This super pigmented, waterproof, crease-resistant, nourishing formula is enriched with porcelain flower extract, vitamin E, and hyaluronic acid to blend seamlessly into skin for a flawless, soft, focused, matte finish. This is the concealer that I have underneath my eyes today, and I am pleasantly surprised, but I think I love this concealer. It looks so pretty underneath the eyes. It covered really well. It blended out super easily, and even though it feels kind of stiff in the pot, it went on very, very creamy. I just took a concealer brush and I put it in the pot there, and then I painted it on, and then I took a sponge and I blended it out, and it just looks so nice. I set it today with the RCMA No Color powder, which also gives kind of a more brightening effect as opposed to the Ilia powder that I love. I'm going to try it with Ilia tomorrow, but the RCMA isn't quite as drying as the Ilia powder is, but the Ilia has a stronger set. With that being said, I still didn't get any creasing underneath my eyes with this concealer with the RCMA, so it's going to probably be really budge proof when I try it with the Ilia. But this is a nice concealer, you guys. I really like it. I didn't know kind of what to expect, but I really like it. And look, it covers really well. So yeah, I just painted it like that on the eyes, and then I took a sponge and I blended it out. But this is the shade Merengue right there. And it comes in a pot like that. One thing to make note of is this does have that peach scent that they like to put in their peach products, which I know not everybody is crazy about. I actually finished up, this has been probably over a month ago now, one of the Peach Perfect setting powders, which I've been meaning to get another one of those. I don't feel like it's as strong as the powder. I don't feel like it lingers on my face. I can't smell it throughout the day or anything like that, but this does have a slight peach fragrance to it. So far, I'm really loving this concealer. So again, that's the Too Faced Peach Concealer Matte Instant Coverage Concealer, and there's 0.24 ounces of product in the jar, which is a ton, and that's the shade Merengue right there, which I think is a great match for me. And then M Cosmetics finally restocked their Divine Skies eyeshadow palette and their Heaven's Glow Radiant Veil Blush, which I had been wanting to pick up for quite some time. I snoozed on it when it released, and it sold out, and it took a while for it to come back in. And then everybody was talking about it, and so I wanted to get them so bad. But this is the packaging on them. Here's the packaging for the eyeshadow palette, and then here's for the blush. The blush shade is called Magic Hour, which I think the whole collection is called Magic Hour. I'm super excited for what else Michelle Phan has in store for us, because these first couple of products are super, super nice. I really want to get those blushes that everybody has been talking about too, the liquid ones, but those are like so hard to get your hands on. They're like always sold out. So anyway, this is the Magic Hour Heaven's Glow blush. There's 0.28 ounces of product. It's like this matte or super pale peach color packaging that's magnetic. Then there's a domed kind of baked blush in there. Originally this kind of goes on a little orangey on my skin, but then it has like this pink shift to it that's really pretty. I just have to make sure that I have a deep enough base on when I use this, otherwise it can wash me out a little bit. But it is a really pretty blush. I want to get the other one as well. That one was sold out when these ones came back into stock, so I wasn't able to get that one. But it just has a really pretty sheen to it, and it's supposed to kind of mimic the Magic Hour from the sun. But that is the Heaven's Glow Magic Hour blush from M Cosmetics. And then here is the Divine Skies eyeshadow palette. There's 6 shades in here that are 0.05 ounces per shade, which is a pretty decent amount of product that you're getting. And then here is your packaging, which is quite cute. And then here are your shades. There are 3 mattes in here and 3 shimmers. When I used this, I did use the lightest shimmer for underneath the brow, and the look turned out super pretty. Just a very wearable, easy palette to use. The shadows are a very great formula. Nothing super revolutionary about the finishes of them, but they work really well on the eye. The closest thing that comes to mind when I look at this is like Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk eyeshadows. It's kind of that same type of vibe. But let me give you some swatches. Should we swatch the mattes first? Yeah, these shadows, super finely milled, great pigmentation. They're very buttery without being super dusty. They have some substance to them. Again, super excited for what else Michelle Phan has in store for us, because these first couple products she's come out with are just stunning. So there are the matte shades. And then here are your shimmers. Right there. And on my lighter skin tone, that deepest matte worked for me in the crease. That is the deepest matte in the palette, is this brown. But just some very pretty colors. Look at how nice and like opaque they swatch. So that is from M Cosmetics, and it is the Divine Skies eyeshadow palette. Right there. I also got 2 more refills for the House of Sillage Bow Lipstick. So they're refill shades that you can put inside these lipstick bullets, but I got 2 different shades that I can use in there, because I have 3 of these cases that the House of Sillage sent to me. And I really like their lipstick formula. It's just a super easy to wear, comfortable, pretty lipstick. So I wanted to try a couple more shades. So I got the shades S10 Prince and S15 Count. And they come in these kind of lipstick style packaging with a little cover on there, and then they're intended to, you know, be pulled out of here and then put into the bow lipsticks. But I want to swatch these for you guys. This one here is a really pretty nude. This is the shade Count right here. And I love the smell of these too. They have a nice like light vanilla scent to them that I really like. But that's the shade Count. And then here is the shade Prince. They're the Diamond Powder Lipsticks is what they're called. But this is a cool toned pink shade in the shade Prince. Right there. Just a beautiful lipstick formula that I can swap out of the bow lipstick cases that I have, which are, they're the prettiest lipstick cases that I have in my collection. They're so, so pretty and weighted. So those are from House of Sillage. That is the shade Count, and that is the shade Prince right there. And then from one of my Beautylish orders from last week, I forgot to haul this guy, but I got one of the Anasui black eye colors, and it's this little heart-shaped compact. It's in the number 300 called Sui Black Color Eye Color. Anasui just gets me with her packaging because it's just super cute. This is 300, and then it has like a heart-shaped lid that pops open like that, and then there's just a little duo in there. And I used to have a duo with these colors in there that I used from Sephora like non-stop. It was just a super, I would slap that purple in the crease and then the lighter shade on the lid and underneath the brow, and that was just like a one and done like go-to look. So it kind of reminded me of that duo that I had from Sephora, and then the packaging, so that's kind of why I bought it. But there's nothing super special about the formula, but I had to have the packaging. Her formula is really the best way I can describe her formula in terms of eyeshadows and stuff is basic. It's just a very basic eyeshadow formula. But that's the Anasui 300 black eye color. And then Lunatic Cosmetics came out with a new eyeshadow palette. It's called Descendant. And what really drew me into this guy was the tones of the shadows. This is an all matte eyeshadow palette. There are 10 shades in here of some of the most neutral, some leaning cool tone browns. There was just something about the tones of the browns in this palette that I just like spoke to me. And what I've been doing recently, like I've been reaching for the Melt Rust Stack quite a bit because I've been pairing palettes like kind of like this one or like this Rust Stack that are all matte eyeshadows with my Clionadh multi-chrome eyeshadows that I had did a video on, I think it was like 2 or 3 ago, but I like to pair those shadows with like an all matte palette, and so that's how I've been using this palette, and the shadows perform great. And I do feel like some of the tones of these browns are kind of unique, and they have just a nice gradation of light all the way to a deeper shade. So I'm super excited that I got this guy because the shadows are very nice. They're pigmented, they blend really well. So I've actually been using this quite a bit. And again, I've been using it a lot with the Clionadh Cosmetics eyeshadows. Lunatic Cosmetics is another indie brand. And these guys, I do kind of feel like they could have put 2 shades in the middle though and maximized the use of the space, but I don't like empty space in a palette for some reason, but I just, the gradation is just wonderful. And then these last 2. So that is from Lunatic Cosmetics, and I got it off the Lunatic Cosmetics website. And this is what the packaging looks like. Another great feature is these are magnetized in the palette, so if I wanted to, I could pull, you know, Clionadh shadows and these guys and just have like a perfect one and done palette. But I just love it when companies do that. So I also purchased the bundle of 6 of the new Lime Crime Lid Light Soft Suede eyeshadows. They come in this type of packaging. I want to say it was a collection called Fairy Lights. It's from their spring collection, but they had this in a bundle, which was discounted in a bundle as opposed to buying them individually. And then they had a sale, and I want to say it was either 25 or 30% off that I got these. So I got a really good deal on these. Downside being 4 of them came pretty shattered. I took pictures and I sent them to them. They already shipped out the replacements for them. I tried to press these back in so I can swatch them for you guys. But you know when something like breaks like that, it's really difficult to kind of get it to go back in the compact really well. I tried my best, but every time I open one of them up, I can see that they're starting to kind of crack a little bit. But these are kind of like a putty type of an eyeshadow, like think something like the ColourPop Super Shock shadows, which I didn't know when I first bought them. And then as I seen some promo pictures and was kind of reading about them, I realized that they had like a creamy type of a texture. So when I used these, I was pleasantly surprised to find out how well they pick up on a brush for having that type of a texture, because usually shadows like this go on, you know, better with a finger, or they just pick up better on the finger, but these actually picked up really nicely on a brush for me, and they also picked up really nice with my finger. Now with that being said, there's quite a bit of emollient properties to this, so I would definitely use like a long-lasting shadow primer. I was using my typical concealer primer and I was getting creasing, and I knew that I probably would, so I'd take my finger and just kind of smush it back together, and that's because these have more of a cream consistency to them. But the shades are really pretty because there's micro glitter suspended in the formula with a bunch of kind of pigmentation, so they go on the lid very, very sparkly and pretty. There's a total of 0.11 ounces of product in here, and they come in these little plastic compacts like this. So this is the shade Lily Pad, and it looks like a green, but there's like some purple and silver micro glitters in here that's just very pretty. So the next time that I use these, my plan is just to avoid the lid space with any of my concealer primer at all, because I use that for a hydrating kind of tacky factor, and these just don't need that. These are something I think you can just throw on your lid with nothing, to be honest. Unless you have really oily eyelids, then they'll probably crease. But look at how pretty that is. That's the shade Lily Pad right there. And then this is the shade Gold Road. Just a very strong gold shade. I'm hoping that I don't, like, the whole thing doesn't dump out of here, but these are very creamy. That's Gold Road. This is the shade Lotus. This has a little bit of dimension to it as well. It's got like golden, orange, purple, silver micro glitters in it. It's a very kind of unique shift in there. So that one is Lotus right there. These don't, I feel like, again, I kind of want to reiterate it, but I don't feel like these really set down. They're very creamy. Then we've got the shade Airy right here, which I've actually used this on my cheeks. This has got, all these got micro glitters in them, but this looked really pretty on the top of my cheekbones. Of course, I'm an extremist when it comes to highlighters, so the higher the shine, the better for me. But that's the shade Airy. This next one is Midsummer right here. It's like a purple. This one also has like silver and a lighter gold fleck in there, and like a purpley burgundy base. So that is the shade Midsummer. And then this last one is the shade Majestic, which is it's a purpley blue, which has got some silver and purple micro glitters in it. But aren't those pretty? I think if you're somebody who likes to use just like a one shadow quick wash over the lid, like super sparkly, I think you'd really love these because they're just very easy to use, I feel. I feel like they're easy to use with a finger and a brush. But that's the shade Majestic right there. So those are from Lime Crime, and they are the Lid Light eyeshadows. And then I was super excited to see that Sugarpill did have another of their capsule palettes that came out. This is the C2 eyeshadow pressed pigment palette and mirror. It's their like pill style packaging. I did do a video on the first one, which is in pink packaging. I got along with that one really well, and I'm getting along with this one really well as well. It's actually what I have on my face today. I've got it on my eyes and also my cheeks. And some of the colors in here, I'm obsessed with the blush color. It's called Retrograde. It's got a little sheen to it right here. It is so pretty. I've also got it through the top, kind of underneath that pretty orangey color that you see on my eyes is actually the blush shade from this palette. It's just really stunning. I've also got on this one on the lid, and I've got this guy, and I've got this guy, and a little bit of this guy on the rest of my eye. I did bring in the Aether Beauty highlighter, which I'm obsessed with as well. This is the Supernova Crushed Diamond. I hauled this a little bit back. I have that on the inner portion of my lid because I did find that this palette doesn't have a super light matte or shimmer shade, which I prefer in a palette. So I brought in Wet n Wild Brulee for underneath the brow and then that Aether Beauty for the front part. Otherwise, it's these shadows. So here's the packaging on the C2 one, and I believe that this is an Ulta exclusive palette. I did purchase it at Ulta. There is a little mirror in here. I think the Sugarpill website might also have it, but I really like these palettes. I think that they're one of the more innovative type packaged products that I've seen in a while, which I think is super fun. You have 5 matte eyeshadows, which are the little circles. And then you have got 4 shimmer borderline metallic shades, which are the medium size. And then this one right here, which is, I think it's for face and eyes, but it's a very pigmented, very beautiful coral blush. I just absolutely love that blush. So let's swatch these for you guys. I get along with these Sugarpill shadows from these capsule palettes really well. They were easy to work with, easy to blend, very little fallout, nice pigmentation. I wouldn't mind having a little collection of the pills. Eyeshadow palettes like this, but there are the first 4 mattes, and then here's the last matte right here. So those are all the matte shades. And here are your shimmer shades. This one does have micro glitter in it. This is like a duochrome, kind of like Max Club. Just a fun color combination. I just really like it. So those are the shimmer shades right there. And then here's the blush. I have this on for blush and I also have it on my eyes. So those are the shades for the Sugarpill C2 eyeshadow and face palette right here. And I love the fact that you've got the names on the back like that. I just really like these. They're a nice, hard, substantial packaging as well. They're just super nice. I also got the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess Matte and Glow Bronzing Trio from their summer collection. I purchased this off of, I want to say, yes, it was Neiman Marcus, and they were having a sale, so I got a little bit of a deal on it. But this is a trio bronzer. Estee Lauder makes some of my favorite bronzers. I think that the undertones of them is very summer bronze. Like, they're not too orange, they're not too red, they're just a very true bronzy color. The shade Brazen from their mineralized launch from last year was one of my most used bronzers, like all summer, fall, since I got it, actually. But this one here is in the larger compact, so you're getting 0.84 ounces of product, which is just a load, and it's got the tortoise shell cover on there, and then there are 3 tones of product in here, and I just mixed them all together and used this as a bronzer on my face today, and I think that it's super pretty. I'll go ahead and swatch the tones separately because I do think if you wanted to use a smaller brush to concentrate on one, you can. I would call them a satin matte finish. It blended out really nice. It looks pretty on the skin. I really like this. And again, it's one of the larger compacts. Last year's came in the smaller compacts, so you didn't get as much product. Gosh, I didn't do a good job of wiping those swatches off. There's kind of it mixed all together right there, and there are the 3 individual shades. But I really like this. Super nice bronzer. Ton of product. So that's the Bronze Goddess Matte and Glow Bronzing Trio. I'm not sure why they call it Glow 2, because even that lighter shade, it's a satin matte finish. There aren't any visible shimmers in any 3 of those shades there. And it says 01 Mirage on the back, but this is the only shade I've seen of this. I also purchased all 4 of the new Charlotte Tilbury quads that came out, and I ordered these and I looked at the names of them and they all had different names, and then when I got them and I opened up the shade or the palette Green Lights, I was like, this looks really familiar. And it's actually the exact same relaunch of the palette they called the Rebel. They had this original launch called the Rebel, which was a different, like, kind of more vibrant emerald type of green palette, which I also have. And then they recently redid that palette, renamed it the New Rebel. And then they came out with a quad called Green Lights, which is the exact same shades that are in the New Rebel quad. And I'm like, why? Why would you do that? So, you know, I purchased it. I looked at the names, but I didn't look real closely at the shades. I was just excited for them. And I'm really disappointed that they did that. That just makes no sense to me. They just went from redoing the Rebel palette and then using the same shades from the new Rebel in this Green Lights palette and calling it Green Lights, which I'm just not happy about. So I haven't swatched this one or anything like that. I'm just going to send it back to Charlotte Tilbury because I don't need it. And then I'll swatch the Rebel one that I have for you guys so you guys can see it. Charlotte Tilbury's 6 newest quads, which is actually only 5 because of, again, the Rebel and the green palette type of situation. There's actually only 5. They're a different formula than her older quads. And this formula here, it's more pigmented, more buttery. It's less stiff of a formula. It's very, very nice. There's nothing super revolutionary about the shades. And then the glitter shades in here, they're not like the top coats anymore. They're more like a standard super shimmery type of an eyeshadow. So they are very nice eyeshadows. They blend out really well. They have great pigmentation. I do like the formula in these ones better, but I do like there was something always a little special about those top coat shades, although they were a little bit more difficult to use. You kind of had to either put them over a sticky primer or really pack them on over something to kind of get them to stick. But anyway, this first one is the one in Copper Charge. This has got 3 shimmers. The bottom one has got micro glitters in it, and there's 1 matte. So this has got micro glitters. This is a matte, and these 2 are shimmers right here. So this is in Copper Charge. Yeah, these are much more creamy feeling than her past formulations. And I got along with those quads as well too, but like I think eyeshadow, it has been evolving so much lately, if that makes sense. Like, gotta step it up, man. So that's Copper Charge. Very beautiful eyeshadows in there. Again, 3 shimmers, 1 with micro glitter and a matte. Right there. Copper Charge. This one here is Green Lights or the Rebel. Mine says the Rebel, although these are the exact same shades in the Green Lights quad. Everything in here has got shimmer. These 2 bottom ones have got kind of shot through very, very fine micro glitters, those bottom ones. And I really love olive greens like this on myself. I feel like it kind of draws the green out of my eyes. So there is Green Lights or the Rebel, the new Rebel. Then we have got Super Blue, and this one here has got 1 matte and 3 shimmer shades. This one is a little bit different formula than the top. It's kind of leans along those topper type shades, but has more pigment in it. All right there. So that one is Super Blue. There is Super Blue. The last one is Mesmerizing Maroon. And this one has got 3 shimmers and 1 matte. The matte shade is down here. This shade has got some very, very fine micro glitters in it. So again, this one is Mesmerizing Maroon. And I think Beautylish also just got these. I purchased these off of the Charlotte Tilbury website with like an exclusive first come like email thing that they sent out. But I've seen these at a couple different retailers now. So there are the 4 new quads. Super Blue, Mesmerizing Maroon, the Rebel or Green Lights, and the Copper one. Right there. Let me get you guys to see them. But a very nice new formula from Charlotte Tilbury for sure. And then lastly here, I got this off of the Ulta website. It's from I Love Revolution. It's the Stardust eyeshadow palette. The packaging looks like it says pet shop on here. So I don't know if they're going to come out with more like different shaped animals, but I was intrigued. So I bought this. It was only $8. And it's a little rabbit, right? Little rabbit. And then you open it up and there are 8 eyeshadows in here. Like, super cute, right? You've got 4 mattes and 4 shimmers. These 3 right here are matte, that's a shimmer, and then down here your matte shade is this guy right here. There aren't any like light enough shades, so when I do use this I have to pull in a lighter shimmer or a lighter matte or something like that. Everything in here is darker or kind of mid-tone type of shades, but the formulation of this is actually really good for $8 in the cute packaging. It's got pretty good pigmentation to it. This is the one, I'll tell you which one I got. There's like 4 different ones available and they're all in a different like chrome bunny packaging. I'm just gonna get the one. I was intrigued. I don't need all the rabbits though. So there's the first 4. And then these guys over here. And again, I got the green one because I like olive greens on my green eyes. But not bad for $8. $8, 8 eyeshadows in really cute bunny packaging. So that's from I Heart Revolution, and the one that I got is, oh, Stardust. I think I said that. So that's the one in Stardust. Crazy, right? And that's going to be all for my haul today. I did get in the new Melt Rust palette. I ordered off the website, but they have recently shut down their online shop because of the situation that we're all going through. I think it comes out on Sephora later this week, so I'm thinking of maybe doing a separate video on that palette. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. I did use it one time, but I didn't use all the shades yet. So otherwise, that's everything for my haul today. I hope you guys are staying safe. Be careful out there. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.